So moving on, in terms of the other element which is key is because of this, the power and the unique capabilities, it's important to digitally enable the various types of collaboration and interactions between the learner, between the facilitator and the administrator. So yeah, Krishna, if you could please share, what are some of the unique features and the capabilities that are available in Sunbird to enable these interactions and collaborations?
Thanks, Salil. Sure. So a few people may argue that individuals learn the best while reading a book on their own or doing research on their own, right? But what data and research says is that individuals typically obtain 70% of their knowledge from job-related experiences, which we call them as experiential learning, and 20% of their knowledge is through interaction with their peers, which is nothing but social learning, and the rest 10% is derived from formal learning. I mean, someone taking a course either on some of the platforms or attending some training programs organized by their organization, right? So what this data tells is that interactions are a very crucial part of users learning experience. At the beginning of this session, it's we are no more restricting our learning to, let's say, just doing graduation, it is restricted to 4 years, or you're doing masters, it is 4 plus 2 years. It's probably throughout your life, you're a lifelong learner, and hence interactions play a very crucial role in one's learning journey, right, throughout their life. When you think about interactions at the outside, it may sound very daunting. So we are looking at various stakeholders, right? You're looking at learners, you're looking at administrators, facilitators, and then the kind of interactions that can happen. There can be hundreds of thousands of interactions that can happen within these 3 personas or 4 personas, right? But if you zoom out, you're probably looking at 3 categories of interactions, right? The first one is guide. Guide is nothing but instructor or a facilitator guiding a bunch of learners in their learning journey, right? Learning something new or helping them to learn something new. And the second type of interaction is collaborate, where you see learners collaborating amongst themselves to learn new things, right? So that's collaborate. And the third type of interaction is assist, where you can see system helping learners to reach their goals, right? Someone wants to maybe a master in certain skill sets. The system may recommend and help the user in their journey. Now, all these 3 types of interactions on Sunbird are enabled using groups, discussion forums, and chatbot. So we'll start with the first type of interaction, guide. So what is so guide is enabled via groups. What groups at a very, very high level does is it allows mentors to virtually direct a small group of learners in their learning journey and help them complete the learning loop that JB mentioned at the beginning of the session, right? And a few possible use cases, you can look at how do you mentor teachers of the nation at scale. So you can create small groups at the lowest possible building blocks, which is block or cluster, and assign mentors to help teachers reach their learning goals. And a similar use case could be around mentoring of students by teachers. So let me run you through this groups construct with a small example, right? So let's say Ministry of Agriculture in a state decides to use Sunbird for training their agriculture department officers, right? And the mentor goes in and creates a virtual class on the platform and adds in the respective officers who are part of that specific virtual class. And the mentor, after creating the group or the virtual class, assigns certain learning activities to that group. Now, these learning activities could be an online course, could be just a survey like Suren mentioned in his session. It could be a survey, it could be a question set, it could be some explanation content, videos, anything can be assigned to the group. So once the activities are assigned, the group members can start consuming these activities, right? Meaning that they start enrolling into the course and start their learning journey. These courses, completing these courses and taking these quizzes and completing the surveys, they can also use discussion forums to collaborate amongst their peers, right? So to engage, collaborate, and learn something new. And while all these things are happening, you're talking about people, mentors assigning activities and members learning, going through these activities and using collaboration. The mentor of the group can get to review the progress of each member of the group, thereby take interventions as and when needed, right? So this is how the complete learning loop is enabled using the groups construct. So moving on to the second type of interaction. So we talked about collaboration. So the collaboration is enabled using discussion forums. So on Sunbird, using discussion forums, you can enable a wide variety of conversations. You can look at enabling one-on-one discussions. It typically can be used if you want learners to reach out to their mentors for query clarification, etc. Or you can enable group discussions. This is something that works at scale, where you are talking about groups of having 1 lakh users or upwards of 1 lakh users. So group discussions is where people interact with each other, talk about what they've learned new, and also in that process clarify any queries that someone else would have had. And the third type of conversation could be where the administrator may say that, no, I want to use these forums in a context where I want to use it to broadcast, send broadcasts, one-way broadcasts. So even that can be enabled. One of the other powerful construct about discussion forums is that they are standalone items. The discussion forums infra is a standalone item which can be configured in a specific context depending upon your use case. Like in the previous example of groups, we talked about user collaboration using discussion forums. That's because discussion forums is enabled in the context of groups. Similarly, you can enable discussion forums in any course or any online trainings, or you can have them as standalone discussion hubs. Moving on to the third type of interaction, so we talked about system-assisted learning. So this is primarily enabled via chatbot, right? So the chatbot on Sunbird Infra helps you discover content. And now this entire discovery can be enabled in 2 modes. The first mode is a conversational mode where the user can come in and say, hey, I want to learn linear equations. And then the chatbot can help the user with the relevant materials which can help the user to learn linear equations. Or the user can have a guided journey using the chatbot and get his or her questions clarified. And the second powerful use case of chatbot is it can in certain FAQs, frequently asked questions, and configure chatbot to assist or supplement your existing physical help desk needs as well. And the third powerful construct about chatbot is that, let's say if you as an adopter are using web portal for reaching out to your users, so you can configure chatbot in web consumption channel. Or let's say if you have a mobile app, you can configure it in a mobile app. Or if your user base is primarily on WhatsApp, you can also configure the chatbot on WhatsApp, any other channels, right? So to summarize what we talked about in interactions is you should look at the capabilities on Sunbird not to replace your existing learning and training methodologies, but to supplement whatever you have. And it provides you the power to take the best of in-person and pure online modes and create a blended mode that suits your workflows.
Indeed.
Thanks,
yeah, thanks, Krishna. Krishna, a couple of questions for you before we move on to the next session. You mentioned a few, use cases which could be used by adopters. From our experience, which are the use cases? I mean, 1 or 2 which we are seeing gain traction, and any pointers or lessons for the adopters as they think about how to utilize some of these capabilities for themselves?
Yeah, so what we're getting to see traction is around mentoring of teachers, right? So that is a huge problem because at the scale of, even if you look at in a federated model, you're probably looking at more than, on an average, 1.5 lakh teachers per state, right? And then at a state level, if a state is rolling out certain training programs, right, it becomes very essential for the teacher at the grassroots level to conduct that learning journey, to help them understand the importance of the training program, and then help them with their these things, like you have to complete this today, this tomorrow, and there is a reason why these programs are being constructed. So in that context, the construct of groups and forums are, we are seeing a lot of traction over there.
Okay, excellent. And another question for you, Krishna, is that, in today's day and age, with a lot people being busy, and it's at times a challenge to take out time for capability development or learning. Are there any specific suggestions on how Sunbird could enable just-in-time learning, to help work in the way that typical work schedules are these days?
Yeah. So if you look at stitching the sourcing story, which was covered by, you can create content, publish courses on a platform. But what works is, let's say, if you as an adopter would like to create 15-minute bites for your users, because your end users are super busy and they cannot spend more than 15 minutes. So you can launch micro courses around 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and use videos as your primary format, because that's the most engaging format, rather than having PDFs, people going through PDFs, right? Videos and then a small practice question set, right? 20-minute courses and a calendar that gets published saying that every week, this is your micro learning package that you have to complete. You take 4 courses, and at the end of the month, you reach level 1. You take 4 more courses, you reach level 2. So what happened, the other biggest advantage of looking at the online mode is that people don't need to travel to attend a training program. So you're cutting down on a lot of this travel related time and all these things, right? You can just, whatever time works for you, you can just take out 30 minutes in a week to complete the course and do it. That's actually worked for us in Diksha as well.
Okay, excellent. Okay, thank you, Krishna.